What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight. I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely butcher the name of this band, but I'm going to give it my best shot. We have Ne Obliviscaris. Yes, indeed. How about that? Ne Obliviscaris making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bobbity bot, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Language Learner QC. And Language Learner QC wanted to see me react to this. I really hope I'm not butchering this name too badly. It is Ne Obliviscaris with a tune entitled Eyrie. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Metal Art, okay? And the video has 29,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Ne Obliviscaris. I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat close. Eyrie. There you go. Wow. Okay. 11:51. So almost a 12-minute long song. Okay, look. You guys know how I feel about long songs. Okay, if it's well written, well constructed, if it's engaging, if it's interesting, musicianship is top notch. If I'm entertained, I'm having fun with it, I'm not bored, it has nothing to worry about. On the flip side, if it's not well written, not well constructed, not well thought out, not well organized, sounds bad, not entertained, bored as hell, and the song just drones on and on, I'm going to absolutely tear it to shreds. So, and yeah, I've done it before, and I got no problem doing it again. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
We just switched up to 7/8 there. Okay, for the most part, the song has been dominated by 6/8 up until this point, where we have now seen the switch from 6/8 to 7/8. Okay, I mean, I'm always in favor of, playing around with time signature as long as it makes sense. As long as there's a reason behind it, and there is absolutely a reason here for it. Because I was about to say, the song really doesn't feel like it's really going anywhere. I mean, the song just feels like it's spinning its own wheels until we got to the 7/8. Now there's a definite shift. Now there's a definite change in direction. Okay. I'm looking forward to see where that goes. I want to be very clear before I start making any criticisms that this song is doing absolutely nothing wrong. Okay, there's nothing about the song that is bad. There is nothing about the song that is inappropriate. There's nothing about the song that is destructive. There's nothing about the song that is disorganized or ill thought out. No, everything about the song makes sense. Everything about the song, okay, on paper, it makes sense. It's pleasing to the ear. It sounds good. Yes. Okay. Absolutely. No question about that. Having said that, as it stands right now, I'm not really a fan. It's pretty. I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. It's a pretty song. I'm kind of getting shades of Dream Theater off the album Images and Words. I think it's the 7th track. I believe it's called Waiting for Sleep or Wait for Sleep. Kind of gives me vibes of that a little bit. This sounds way fuller than that song does, but it goes along the same trajectory. It's a very pretty song. It's in 6/8. Very much a vocal showcase with all the instrumentation supporting the vocal delivery and the vocal performance. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. I know for a fact there are people who love this kind of stuff, okay? I am not one of those people. I'm not really digging this a whole lot. But, like I said, is there anything wrong with it? No. Does it sound bad? No. Is it poorly written or poorly arranged? No. It's just not my cup of tea personally, okay? But from an objective standpoint, so far so good. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the 7/8 because I really hope that it changes up in more ways than one, and I hope that we start to see a little bit of variety in what is being done with the song, in the direction of the song. Hoping they switch things up a little bit more than just switching gears from 6/8 to 7/8. I hope it's more than just that. So let's keep going here. Still 7, but definitely direction change. I like the switch up. It's gone in some different directions for sure. Definitely getting more intense when they add the guitar riff. Still in 7/8, but now we've kept that same guitar sound, that same energy and drive, and now we switched from 7/8 to 4/4. Loving that. Absolutely loving that. I like what's happening with the clean vocal. If I'm being honest, the grit and gruff vocal, I don't see the need for it. I really don't. I mean, it's the intensity is being provided with between the drumming and the bass playing and the guitar playing. The intensity and the energy and the drive are being provided just fine by the instrumentation. It doesn't need that grit and growl vocal. And if I'm being honest, it kind of overkill. But I like what's happening with the clean vocal. I like what's happening there for sure. Just wish they hadn't done that grit and growl vocal. Let's keep going here. Did we just go back to 7? We did. From 7/8 right back to 4/4 again. Okay. Double kick is just relentless. Did we have a tempo change? Wait a minute. No, we did not. Okay. Just a little bit of a feel change in the drum pattern.
Inside
went into that quadruple time with the snare hits on the 16th notes. Oh my good Lord. 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and I'm like, dang son, that goes beyond double time. That's whoo. That is something right there. And now shifting back into that 7/8, and now I don't know where we're going because tempo has stopped. There's no rhythmics at all. It's just a sustained chord. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I have a prediction. I think they're going to go back and revisit the beginning. Normally, I'm a big fan of that. Normally, I'm a big fan of when bands finish with the end, or they finish the song by revisiting the beginning. They begin with the end in mind. Take it however you want, but basically, you got the beginning and the ending, and they're the exact same thing. I'm usually a big fan of that. I don't know if I'm going to be a big fan of it on this song because I wasn't really super keen on the beginning, on the intro. I wasn't a huge fan of it. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I could have gone, you know what? I may not personally like it, but it makes sense. You know, that is a very strong possibility if that's what they do. But I don't know if I'm personally going to like it or not. Let's see what they do. I'm hearing this, you know, this sustained chord, just letting it resonate. Let's see what they do with it. Let's see what happens here. Yep, it's just like the beginning. Well, it didn't stay for long. It's app fading. It's like we faded in the beginning. Man, I got some serious mixed feelings about this song. There were things about the song I liked. There were things about the song I really enjoyed. There were things about the song I loved. And then there were things about the song that I was not a fan of and I did not like. Now the good news is I didn't hate anything. So I didn't hate the song. I didn't even hate anything about the song. That's a good thing. But I don't know how this is going to go. This is going to require some thought. This is really going to require some thought. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was, I am sure I'm absolutely destroying the pronunciation of this name, but I'm going to keep trying here. That was Ne Obliviscaris with a tune entitled Eyrie. This was a request from Language Learner QC. Okay. I thought about this, and I didn't think as long as I thought I was going to have to. It came to me a little quicker than I was expecting. But I do have a score, and I have all my reasons for giving the score all lined up. So let's get to it, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, believe it or not, I'm going to give that a 9.2. Yep, 9.2. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the score I feel this song deserves. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, a 9.2. What does that mean? Well, a 9.2 would translate to an outstanding, amazing, impressive skill rating because overall, I think this was an outstanding, amazing, and impressive song. It would also get 5 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. Yes, an A. So there you go, a 9.2, outstanding, amazing, impressive skill rating, 5 out of 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Woohoo! So glad you asked. Okay, I have said this several times in the past. I don't have to love a song to give it a great score. On the flip side, I don't have to hate a song to give a song a low score either. This is one of those cases. That 9.2 is based completely on the merit of the song. It has absolutely nothing to do with how I feel about the song. I enjoyed the song. I absolutely did. On a personal level, I did enjoy it. There were parts I enjoyed more than others. There were parts that I liked. There were parts that I loved. There were parts I was completely indifferent to, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, there were parts I was not a fan of. I didn't like them. But just because I personally don't like it does not mean that it deserves a low score. It doesn't. It absolutely deserves that 9.2. It was well thought out. It was well constructed. The song grew. It evolved. It changed up directions in some really tasteful ways. Playing around with time signature, we had 6/8, we had 7/8, we had 4/4. We had a whole bunch of different time signatures, and they all made sense. Every single time there was a time signature change, it made sense. In some cases, it was needed, and thankfully it happened. So, I mean, I give the songwriters all the credit in the world for putting this song together, keeping it interesting, keeping it engaging, allowing the song to grow and evolve in some really cool ways. As far as musicianship goes, man, that drummer, woo! That drummer, man, that double kick, there were a few times throughout the song where that double kick was not just, it wasn't just, great sounding. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was. But I mean, it was relentless. It was, to some extent, it was merciless. I mean, it was just going and going and going. And I'm sitting there going, when's it going to end? not in a bad way. Not that I was hoping it was going to end, but I was just wondering, how long can this drummer keep this up? Because, man, he's definitely putting in the work without question. The guitars, bass, keyboards, strings, violins. I don't know if those violins were real. I'm not 100% sure. Those might have been programmed. I mean, listen, folks, you'd be amazed what you can do with Pro Tools these days. The sound banks that are available, I mean, you can get really specific. I mean, it is amazing how far Pro Tools has come. And you can program parts in a song like this utilizing Pro Tools, and you would swear that those are actual real musicians playing. So I'm not sure if the violins and the strings, I'm not sure if those are real or if those are programmed. If they're programmed, great job with the programming. If they're real, great job using real musicians. I'm always in favor of that. But all of the musicianship across the board sounded great. I really enjoyed listening to the guitar parts and the string parts. I really like how they would flip-flop between the clean vocal and the violins and strings and guitars, sharing the responsibility of the main melodic lines. I think that was really well done. I think it was very tastefully done. There were some times where I do feel like the vocals were kind of being showcased with everybody else, supporting them and just really kind of showing off the vocalist's ability. I mean, there were a couple of points where I felt that way. And while I may not personally be the biggest fan of it, I do see what they were doing within the context of the song. So it's not an issue. My biggest gripes about this, and I want to be very clear, while they may be personal gripes of mine, that does not mean they affected the score in a negative way, okay? I want to be very clear about that. The intro, 4 minutes. It did kind of drone on and on a little bit. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I mean, I see, again, I see what they were doing. I do see it. I see how they were growing the song out. I get it. I don't think they needed 4 minutes to do it, but at the same time, it got the job done. And same thing with the ending. Now, the ending was a lot more interesting than the beginning was. The beginning was a little droning, if I'm being honest. It just didn't, it didn't really grab me, Yeah, it really didn't. But it did the job of what an intro should do. Set the mood and tone, create the atmosphere that you're going to want, so that when it does drop you off at the very beginning of the song, the intro should have put you in a position where you're ready for the main body of the song. It should have led you to that point. And it should have been seamless. And it, for the most part, it was. So, yeah, I got no issue with that at all. The fact that this song was almost 12 minutes long. And like I said, there was the beginning, which I was kind of like, but once the main body part, once the main song kicked in, and from that point on, I was no longer bored. Even the ending, even though it mimicked the beginning, it still had a lot more going on within the ending than the beginning had. So once the song, at the 4 minute mark approximately, from that point on, I was no longer bored at all. The other gripe that I have, and again, this is just personal feelings, personal taste, the grit and growl vocals. I don't think they were needed, if I'm being honest. I really don't think they really added anything to the song or contributed anything to the song. The clean vocals were doing a fine job on their own. Absolutely. Maybe even consider adding some harmonies to those clean vocals, whether the harmonies be from other vocalists, or how about having that main melodic line carried by the vocals and have a harmonic line carried by, I don't know, maybe the violin. That'd be a good idea. Or maybe the guitar. Maybe get some 3-part harmony going in there with the violin and the guitar. That would have been really cool. I think that would have sounded really interesting. It would have definitely filled out the sound in a much more constructive way than grit and growl vocal, but knowing the style of music that this is, I get the perceived need for a grit and growl vocal part. While I may not necessarily agree with that, I understand. There's this perceived necessity for that vocal style. So, not a fan of it, but I get it. I do get it. So basically, we're taking everything into account here, and I am coming up with that 9.2. Absolutely, I think that score is absolutely well deserved, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 9.2, which is an outstanding, amazing, impressive skill rating, 5 out of 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.